As it is written, the kingdom is within us. Come together and discuss the issues within the kingdom. Speak your peace. Speak the truth. For the kingdom is at hand. Kingdom Conversations.
Romans chapter 13, verse 11.
This is the time you must be aware of. Read.
And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep.
That's what time it is. There's no time for you to be looking at planet Nibiru and planet X and comets and all. That's total diversion. Anything the news is putting out there for you, ignore.
We in the last days, they trying to take our shine. We the children of the book, precept upon precept, line behind line. They got us colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. We in the last days, we running out of time. We the children of the book, precept upon precept, line behind line. Open your eyes, they got us colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. Grew up in poverty, but rich up in the spirit. And if you slide backwards, I can't afford it. They in places they shouldn't be flying, into orbit. A higher is my refuge, he'll never leave us stranded. He will test us, this world is his campus. The whole duty of man is keep his commandments. Our history is covered with the lies, got our minds damaged. Put away the ham and just go sham. The mark of the beast will swallow you whole and spit you out just like flam. Not damn. It's just Shire over man. Take those blindfolds off before you fall up in the ditch. This truth is no illusion. Fix your resolution. The religion washed up like tidal wave. The monument your idol's gonna pay. Not from the tribe called Quest, but a tribe called Judah. Move around with this truth like U-Haul movers. We in the last days, they trying to take our shine. We the children of the book, precept upon precept, line behind line. They got us colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. We in the last days, we running out of time. We the children of the book, precept upon precept, line behind line. Open your eyes, they got us colorblind, colorblind, colorblind.
Yes, I'm black and comely. Brass skin, hair woolly, Holy Spirit order, Ruach shining from me. They say that we all equal, but oppression's on our people. But Shia's gon' end that, and it won't be a sequel. How are we all the same? Yet it's only one people in the struggle and the pain. Yeah, your trouble is his name. The lines never tame, but running with their pride only leaves a brother maimed. It would never be the same. Cops got a brother running like a slave. Land of the free and home of the brave, but this land is straight stolen and my home is in the raid. I know who I hire be, I would never be afraid. Lamentations 5:9. We got our bread with the pearl of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine.
We in the last days, they trying to take our shine. We the children of the book, precept upon precept, line behind line. They got us colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. We in the last days, we running out of time. We the children of the book, precept upon precept, line behind line. Open your eyes, they got us colorblind, colorblind, colorblind.
I can't see much. They cut my EBT card, I don't eat much. The police up, catch me getting pieced up. They beat me up, my scabs itch bad. But if you scratch old wounds, new blood will come back. So I can't sweat that. I'm full speed ahead. A higher tap my shoulder and I rose from the dead. In the name of Yeshua, yeah, the gospel gon' spread. It was Mac 28:19 that I read. So many Hosea 4 and 6s out there. So many still believe Hosea's pictures out there. Talking about this no law. Commandments getting shunned. If it's no law, really what you need grace from, huh? Better wake up and raise those blinds. Squinting at the sunshine. Pull the wool from your eyes, cause we running out of time. We dropping like flies. Mike Brown every night.
We in the last days, they trying to take our shine. We the children of the book, precept upon precept, line behind line. They got us colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. We in the last days, we running out of time. We the children of the book, precept upon precept, line behind line. Open your eyes, they got us colorblind, colorblind, colorblind.
Shalom to the whole house. What's good, fam? It's good to be here with you guys today or tonight, depending on where you are on the earth. First of all, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to the one and only, the Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Father of Israel, our Father. Book say he's our Father, so that's who we gonna claim. We gonna claim the book. Those brothers was rapping. That was I'm gonna call it, that's Maverick Bronze, and music is colorblind. And if some of the bars sound like somebody you may have heard on this channel, I'm not gonna say who it was, but may have heard a couple of those brothers. It's good to be here with you, family. So that was the track Colorblind, and you can find that on Maverick Bronze channel. Getting back to the get back, got to circle back and give the Father all honor, glory, and praise, and thank him for sending his son. He sent Mashiach, firstborn, first fruits. He sent first fruits for us to redeem Israel. He didn't send first fruits back to redeem Rome. He didn't send first fruit back to redeem the KKK. Nor did he send it back to redeem America and all its wickedness. No, the Father, the great Father, our Father, who we praise and we lift him up, sent his only begotten Mashiach to redeem Israel, right? Put a one up if you believe that he sent them to redeem Israel, because that's what the books say. I don't care about nothing about what I hear anybody else say or anybody coming up to me telling me something, or maybe I see something online. You got to go by what the book say. Brother in the track was talking about we the people of the book. So you need to carry yourself accordingly, right? We also thank Mashiach for doing the work that he did, because without the work that he did, we'd still be lost, condemned, and on our way somewhere where everybody else is going to go if they don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? So I bid hello to the family, but before family, I need to thank the Ruach. Father, have your way with this show tonight. Ask that you reveal some truth to our people so that they will be able to walk in the law, statutes, and commandments, so that it will help them and give them some hope. Not the hope of this place or any other place, but hope in you and the promises that you gave us. That's where our hope should lie. Greetings to the brothers on the panel. Brother Yash, if you're out there, I dropped the link in the chat, and I'll drop it again. I do want you to join on because based on the conversation that we had, you have some good information that would be pertinent. So if you could hit the link. We got Brother Hal G on. Brother Hal, how you doing?
Doing well, big bro. Cleo, how are you, my man? Good to have you back on Kingdom Conversations, man. It feels like a lifetime since you've been back and doing Kingdom Conversations, bro. Great to have you back, man. Y'all blessed, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. And two things. Well, the first one, I got a little bit of a respite, I got to be honest. But then secondly, I've been working on some other stuff, and that other stuff has taken away my time and being able to prepare some of the information that we bring. It's not necessarily lessons, but some of the information that we share with the family. And so
Mhm.
I'm a little bit freed up, although I'm real busy, but I'm freed up and I'm more energized now. And so I'm ready to get back at it and give the family information. And family, the information that we give is freely given, and we don't charge anything for it, and the channel's not monetized, and there's a reason behind that. But Brother Howard, do you have anything to say to the family before I
Now that,
greet the family accordingly?
that's just it. Israelite family, you guys know I love you. Welcome.
Yes,
Glad to have you on. And Brother Cleo, we will take what we can get. So again, glad to have you back, bro.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oh, there go my brother Yash, and brother E was on too, and brother E will definitely be chiming in too. He was here and he was having some problems with his computer, he says, but he was in the chat, and hopefully he'll join in because it's for me it's always great when the other brothers is on because books say we the salt of the earth, we salt and light, and each one of the brothers that's on always adds value and great to what we're doing each and every time. So do you guys hear an echo? Am I
No, there's no echo. I think I
okay,
hear
great.
maybe Brother
Uh-huh.
Yash's background before he
Okay.
muted, but
Hey, there he is too. There he is. Brother Yash. How you doing, brother? Brother Yash, greet the fam if you can hear me. If not, we can move on to Brother E. Brother E, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on, brother Cleo?
Man, it's good to hear your voice. Good to hear your voice. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
My internet is kind of bugging out right now, and I'm kind of upset. I get mad when this happens, but in any case, man, I'm glad to hear that intro. Been about a month since we've been on live with KC, so I told you when we hear that intro, that's a it's like a trigger, let you know it's time to wind down and chill out, you know. So it's a blessing to have you back. Shalom and blessings to everybody in the chat.
I appreciate that, brother. And you've been the brother been holding it down. Yash, Yash is gonna jump back in. You've been holding it down, Ian. I appreciate all the great work that you've been doing. So we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna look at the family. Family, how y'all doing today? Yeah, y'all got to be doing great because according to that song, y'all the people of the book. Now, don't get big headed about it, but you can get big headed about it based on all that you've been through, right? You done been through hell and back, been to hell and back. So it's okay for you to feel good about being the people of the book. There's nothing wrong with that. You the book people because the Father chose you, not because you chose him. He chose you. He chose your people to be the people of the book. He could have chose any family that he wanted to, just like y'all could have chose to be anywhere y'all wanted to today. Y'all could have been anywhere. Y'all could have been at watching baseball spring training. You could have been as normal at some fancy restaurant dining on shrimp, crab, and lobster like y'all do because y'all need to get saved. Or you could have been watching Netflix, watching a movie, or watching the news talking about, oh, the Ukrainians, oh, they're just in so much disarray, so much trouble. Oh, we need to help them. You Americans, you need to help us. Europe, you need to help us. Africans, you need to help us. Everybody need to help the Ukrainians. But where was our help at? When you bombed Iraq, where was the help at for the Iraqis? When took out Muammar Gaddafi. Not that I'm aligned with any of these. I'm just using these as examples. You took him out, left his nation in disarray, killed millions of people. What about that? Oh, it's different now because we dealing with who we dealing with. Okay, I got it. But we'll table that for later. Right now, I'm going to greet the family. I'm going to start from the top down and we're going to take our time. We're not going to rush. If this is a 2-show thing or a 5-show thing, it won't be a 5-show, definitely. We may be able to even squeeze it all into one show. Start from the top and work down. Eric Tinsley, a shalom, brother. Peace and blessings to you. And I hope that you are well, brother. And man, the music that I jump on your channel from time to time, and I will say that the brother got some really good music. If you want to get on the latest and greatest truth music, you can jump on the brother's channel. And brother, you drop your channel in the link. I'll put it up. If you got no shame in that. We love sharing information about other channels and our people and what's going on. So that's what we do over here. We now monetize, but first and foremost, when you come here, you're gonna know, hey, you know what? Them brothers love their people. It's nothing else. They love their people. Smitty! Ah, that's my brother right there. Good to see you, Smitty. Shalom, peace and blessings. Darnell Blackshear, peace and blessings to you, brother. Good to see you as usual. Faithful, brother. Hope all is well. Mary hey, please forgive me if I can't get these Israelite names. Like Banya said the other day, I get tongue twisted. Mary Yakina, Shalom and Barakatah, peace and blessings to you. Devorah Cotton 21, Shalom, peace and blessings to you. Let's see, we got Kalahaya Alkaline Chief, Shalom, my brothers, new to your channel, Shalom. Hey, peace and blessings to you, brother. Welcome, we welcome you. This is your house. Salt of the Earth Productions is the family's house. A family can come in and speak their piece. I'm gonna stop reading the what's happening in the chat for a minute, and I'm gonna bring we got brother Banya in and brother Yashin. You brothers, please greet the family, please. Brother Yashin.
Yeah, Shalom family. I don't know if anybody can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, good, because my computer just blew out on me, but I got it back.
Yeah,
Uh,
they try to jiggle wires, mess with you. Go ahead.
we missed you, brother. See, I want to tell you now for the whole family. I'm speaking for everybody in the chat and on the panel. We missed you, brother, and we're glad to have you back.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. And prayerfully, I'll be able to be consistent like how I was before. Like I said, I've been working on some other projects. Really had, long story short, I have to put my hands in things that I've been working on the background. Sometimes you have to put your hand in it if you want things to get done right. So I've been doing that. So, but I'm back now, and I'll be back for the full duration. And whenever I'm allowed to do Kingdom Conversations or be on with the brothers, I'll be consistently doing that. Brother Banya, how you doing, man? Good to see you, bro.
Hey, KC back in effect. All right.
Hey, did you
Yeah.
hear? Did you hear who we led off with?
No, I didn't get a chance. I
Oh, okay. You
actually
better
just
hear
got in.
rewind. You better hear rewind. We let off with Colorblind with Maverick
Oh
Bonds and them
man.
other two cats he was
Hey,
rapping with. I ain't gonna say who that was.
oh, that's a classic right there, bro.
Hey
That's
man, that's
one.
a banger, man. They
Yeah.
don't even know nothing about that. Hey, let me tell you something. Israelites got so much good music. But anyway, go ahead and greet the family, bro. Let me be
Oh,
quiet. Go ahead.
yeah. Shalom and blessings, man. I mean, what can I say that hasn't already been said? You know, well, I just want to greet everybody in the room and say, it's a blessing to be able to fellowship with the brothers and be on here. You know, I'll just be sitting back listening for the most part, and trying not to hear you guys. I mean, trying not to let you guys hear me snacking on this unleavened bread. Yeah, but yeah, but thanks a lot for bringing in the show, man. Like the brother said, we missed it. You know what I mean? The brother Ibri, I know he likes the intro to it. You know, it's definitely it's shaping up to be exactly what you thought it was going to be, and you know, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of you.
All praises to the Most High. Thank the Father because we vessels are His, and we want to be used by Him, and we want to do the right thing, right? So we give Him all the glory and all the praise. So I appreciate that, bro. Coming from you, it means a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna get back to greeting the fam, bam. Let's see here. We left off with the new brother coming out. Optimal training. Peace and blessings, bro. It's good to see you as usual. Hope all is well with you. Hope the Father's been blessing you beyond your own understanding. Amiyah Yakida, peace and blessings to you. Sister Trust Cafe, shalom, peace and blessings to you. Hope you have been well, and hope the Father has been blessing you immensely. Sister Cece, shalom family, peace and blessings to you, sister. Good to have you here. Davion Murphy, peace and blessings. Good to have you here, brother. Peace and blessings. Jabroni. Firestarter, troublemaker extraordinaire. This brother be on everybody's on channels that I see, setting the house on fire with the book. And that's one thing that I really appreciate about Israel is that Israel know this book. Israel know this book better than anybody on the earth. Why? Because it's for, to, and about Israel. Nobody else. I don't care nothing about the heathen being saved or not. Great. If they can be, great. If they can't be, great. That's not my concern. What the book say? To the Jew first, that's my concern. That's where we stop right there. So Jabroni, keep setting the house on fire, bro. We see you. Trust and believe that. Omiya, we greeted you. Sister Born Bold, how you doing? Shalom, peace and blessings to you. Here go another fire setter right here, Sister Born Bold. But sis, we appreciate you, we love you, and we appreciate everything that you do. Trust and believe that. Michelle Y, peace and blessings. Shalom to you. Rising Moon, peace and blessings to you. Sarita Hebrew, peace and blessings to you, sis. Hope all is well. Brother Yash, peace and blessings to you. Brother Kadar, shalom, peace and blessings to you. Greet the family, bro. Brother Kadar, are you there? Okay, Brother Kadar, jump on when he can. Shebrew Yah, shalom, peace and blessings, sis. Thanks for all the work that you do, all the great work you've been putting in for the fam. Rio Morgan, shalom, brother, faithful brother. Peace and blessings to you. Hope all is well with you. Let me see. Did we catch everybody? Brother Hal, peace and blessings to you again. Peace and blessings. Hopefully we got, Kenneth Wilkerson. Hey, faithful brother. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing, brother? Hope all is well. Peace and blessings to you. Hope the Father has been blessing you beyond your own understanding. Sister Rochelle, peace and blessings to you, sis. Hey, tell Big Mom we said hi over here, and tell her that I need to get some more of that good spiritual music, because we know on this earth no one can do it like Israel. When you talk about you praising the Father, I don't care if you're talking about Christian church. I don't care if you're talking about truth music. All of it's gonna move you. Point blank. Period. You listen to them old spirituals that you grew up on. I bet something will hit you. If something hit you, ain't gonna hit you. You're not alive. Point blank. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll through and see if we got anybody else. Let's see. Lynn, peace and blessings to you. I think we may have Divine Seed. Shalom, brother. Hope all is well. Good to see you. I think I greeted that, brother. I think I captured. Oh, Anaya. Hey, sis, how you doing? Anayana Coleman, peace and blessings, sis. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Watch and discern. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. Sister Cindy Clark, peace and blessings, sis. Hope all is well with you today. Let's see here. Seeking the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Yes. Lift the Father up. So somebody find me that precept where it say, even the rock, he'll get the rocks to praise him. And tell me he can't do that in his own construct. You better praise the Father while you still have time to do that. Lift him up and thank him and give him all the glory and all the praise. And thank him for his son. And thank him for sending the Ruach as well. Better lift the Father up. Lift him up while you can, while you still have breath on this earth. Sister Linda Ricks, peace and blessings, sis. Hope all is well. Sis, hope you've been excellent. Let's see here. Scotch Red 01. Shalom, 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 fam. Hope you're doing good. Brother E, we got you. Let's see here. You love Yah. Salama, sis. Hope all is well. Or please forgive me. I don't know if you're a sister or brother, so please forgive me for that. But salama to you. Let's see here. We got Davion. You love Yah. Hopefully I didn't miss you. You love Yah. Shalom. Peace and blessings to you. Papa True, shalom. Peace and blessings to you as well. Unorthodox daughter of Zion. Peace and blessings. Unorthodox daughter of Zion. But you claiming that book, I see. She claiming Jerusalem. She telling them straight up, we know we the people of the book. And we not even trying to hear nobody tell us otherwise. Okay, family. So today's show and conversation, now the show is a conversation where you interact with me and we interact with the panel, and we get some either understanding and some not just understanding, but you guys serve me up precepts as you normally do. If I call for them, the panel might have them, y'all might have them. But today's show is conversation is going to be about America taught the world its morality and who is Putin. But before I do that, I do want to make a comment on something that I saw via email. And I do want to bring that up. I'm not going to get into specifics, but I will say this. And I'm saying this to the earth right now. If you are an instructor, or you consider yourself a teacher, or you consider yourself a leader, or you want to go by whatever term you want to go by, be careful how you treat the women of Zion. Okay? I'm not going to get into details. Everybody on the panel know what I'm talking about. And now's not the time to get into any details. We can chop that up offline, but be considerate on how you treat the women of Israel. You are not to disrespect them in the manner that I've seen them being disrespected. It's time out for Israelites treating their women as second class, third class, fourth class, sixth class citizens. It's time out for that. And if you a leader or a so-called teacher or somebody that's got some stature, then you need to be operating under a completely different frequency when it comes to dealing with people. I'm the last one to talk about somebody to have patience, but if you in that position, then you most definitely need to be operating with wisdom and patience and love and long suffering. Point blank. All right, so I'm not going to even go down the rabbit hole with that. Okay, so you asking for it, sis. Hey, sis, you didn't do nothing. You know your big bro love you. He gonna pick on you. You know that. That's all. You didn't do nothing. You good money, sis. Okay, so today's show, or I keep saying show, it's not a show, it's a conversation, Brother Cleo. What you talking about? We're talking about America taught the world its morality and who is Putin. So that's a conversation that, and for me to get my thoughts and get my bearing correct, sometimes I have to create a PowerPoint so that I can keep my thoughts in order. So what I'm going to be doing at some point is once I get it figured out, I'm going to share my screen. But as you know, in the news, we've been hearing about this war between Ukraine and Russia and America, not America indirectly, but we know based on past history, and we can say this, that, before I get into that, I need to do two things. One, I need to get this over here. Bear with me, fam. Let me do this. And then let me minimize that. Okay, we about ready to rock out. What I need to do, fam, is I need to be able to protect the channel. And so I'm going to get back and share my screen in a second. And then once I share my screen, we can start the conversation off. So give me a minute to do that. Okay, do me a favor, fam. Put a 1 up if you can see my screen, okay? And if you can see my screen, okay, we'll get started. So, like I said, today's conversation. Thank you, brethren, for doing that. So today's conversation: America taught the world its morality, and who is Putin? So how are those two things related, right? That's a reach and a stretch, but we'll be able to tie that in. So how did America teach the world its morality? Because America is a Christian nation, and not all nations are Christian, right? So that becomes an interesting sort of conversation, because America is teaching the world morality, but how can America be teaching the world its morality when America's morality should come into question, right? So before we do anything and before we jump into the lesson, what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're protecting the channel and that we're safe. So family, give me a minute to get to the right spot. And then once I get to the right spot, I'll make sure that we're able to move forward with the presentation. So just bear with me a second. Okay, so before I move forward, I do have to read this copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. And this is a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research, and to tell the truth on all liars. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. And so, as I stated earlier, this channel is non-monetized. We haven't made not one nickel doing anything that we've done vis-a-vis Salt of the Earth Productions as a channel in general, right? And nor do we charge anyone money. And that's not to say that we're against brothers that do or don't do that. I'm just saying this is what we do and how we've moved for years. And so I say all that to say, YouTube, now that you've heard that, you guys should be okay with us knocking you guys over the head and knocking this nation and everybody else over the head like how we normally do. If you're in the way and you're a liar, you're going to get it, point blank. So let's move on. So, first question that we have in this conversation is America a moral nation? Now, I could ask the panel that and we can get a whole litany of answers, but what I want to do is it's right now we're kind of setting the stage. So we're asking the question, is America a moral nation? Now, it's going to depend on your perspective. If you're someone like Joe Biden, yes. If you're someone like Larry Elder, yes. If you're someone like Captain Kangaroo, yes. Ronald McDonald, Richard Nixon. If you're someone like that, so it really depends on your perspective. If you're someone like Banya or Yash, Hal, Ibri, Kadar, Salt of the Earth family that's in the chat, their stance will be no. So you will put America and weigh America in the balances, and the truth will be shown. Not to mention the fact that, and we'll get into this, not to mention America's historic track record. You see, with this thing called the Father's construct, which according to the book he created in Genesis, when he said, let there be light, he put laws in order. He put all different levels of laws in order. There's one called sowing and reaping. Somebody find me that precept where it says you have sown the wind, yet reap the whirlwind. Find me that and I'll put it up. America has been sowing and reaping since its inception. It stands on it appears to stand on the morality of something, but I question what that something is. What is that question? What is that thing that America stands on? That it's a Christian nation? Well, no, it isn't. Well, okay, I'll take that back. It is. It is a Christian nation, right? It's a Christian nation because Christianity is nothing but the broad gate to destruction. So therefore, yeah, we can say America is a Christian nation. We can also say America does not go by the book, but I will stop there and I will read this precept. Thank you, Yash. Hosea 8:7. For they have sown the wind and they shall reap the whirlwind. It hath no stock, the bud shall yield no meal. If so be it yield, the stranger shall swallow it up. Okay, so America, yeah, I'm going to leave that there. So you guys have answered the question. So I think I can move to the next slide, right? So let me get back to where I need to get back to. Please forgive me. I need to add two big monitors here because this one monitor is having one small monitor and one big monitor is kind of like a joke. So, okay, so there's a balance. Some would say America is moral. Some would say America is immoral. And so let's look at the definitions like we always do. We always like to pull up definitions. So I'm going to read both definitions about morality and immorality so that we can have a somewhat of a just balance to see, are we just operating off of emotion based on our DNA, or are we operating off of truth and justice? Like on that Superman show, they used to say truth, justice, and the American way, right? Y'all remember that? Superman, they used to say truth, justice, and the American way. Huh? What's that mean? Yeah, y'all always saving somebody in the movies. Y'all always doing good and righteous in the movies. Not to mention, every time a black man is in one of y'all movies, he the first one to get whacked, but that's a different conversation. Let's read the definitions. Okay, so morality. Now, principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior. As an example, the matter boiled down to simple morality. Innocent prisoners ought to be freed. Similar ethics, good ethics, understanding and knowing right from wrong, correctness, ethicality, virtue, and goodness. So these are all the things that point to good morality, having good moral value and good moral standing. A particular system of values and principles of conduct, especially one held by a specified person or society. Plural noun, moralities. A bourgeois morality as an example. The extent to which an action is right or wrong. And a lot of times they try to put a gray area between the or, but really there should be a line there. Because when Solomon judged, it was either right or it was either wrong. Somebody give me that precept where Solomon had to judge between that woman, that lion that said that that baby was hers and the baby was the other woman. Solomon said, let's cut the baby in half and give each one of y'all a piece. How about that? So it's either you doing right or you doing wrong. Either you're moral or you're immoral. Behind all the argument lies the issue of morality of the possession of nuclear weapons. That's an interesting comment right there, right? That's an interesting part of the definition. And I just clipped this. If you type in a definition of morality, this is the first thing that comes up. You know how Google will give you that first definition. And so they're talking about possession of nuclear weapons. Now, here's a question that I have. And this is something that America is great at. How is America in a position to tell Iran, Iraq, the Israelites, the true Israelites, the book people, Zimbabwe, Ghana, Somalia, Eritrea, how are they in a position to say if those nations can have nukes or not? And if you're not part of their clique or their group or their gang, you can't have nuclear weapons. When, if I'm not mistaken, who was the only nation that actually dropped two during a war that our folks were fighting in? And probably killed some of our people too. Probably killed Israelites that was in that nation that they bombed. Who was the only nation that dropped nuclear bombs on somebody? You guys can put that in the chat. I'll let you guys think about that for a second. Who dropped nukes on somebody? And then you, the main one, saying, oh yeah, Iran can't have nukes. How come? How come Iran can't have nukes? How come the Israelites can't have nukes? How come? Because you guys said so? I see some of the answers coming in. Some of the answers are, we getting them answers. We're getting them, as we always do. America, the snakes, USA, USA, USA. Oh gosh, out of control. completely out of control. Let's see that comment right there. You know, worried about nukes now. You know who's not worried about nukes right now? I'm not. And we'll get into that later. Let's read the definition of immorality. Immorality, noun. Morality, plural, noun, plural. Immoralities, the state or quality of being immoral, wickedness. He believed his father had been punished by God for his immorality. Similar, these are good to pick up, family. Wickedness, immoral behavior, badness, evil, vileness, and iniquity. So, if one were to ask the obvious question, which I'm not going to ask, where one nation deserves to be, or not that they deserve to be there, they actually earned that. We didn't do anything to determine whether America was immoral or moral. That's based on the leadership, and that trickles down. The nation was founded by deists, and if you don't know what that is, you can look it up. And they don't make any bones about it. But then they hide under the cover of Christianity. You can hide under that cover all you want, but that's actually not a cover now, because if you understand what Christianity is the broad gate, according to what the book says. That's why a lot of people gonna say to you, man, I didn't know you. Somebody dropped that precept in there where he say, man, depart from me, you worker of iniquity. I never knew you. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so here's what we're going to do with this slide. I'm going to throw this slide up, and what this is this is going to give us the nature and identify, just based on buzzwords and phrases and terms, that help to frame America's nature and identify its true moral compass. Now, this is a very, very small list, fam. This is not a really comprehensive list. This is just me firing off the cuff. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break for a couple of minutes. Reason why I'm going to break for a couple of minutes, because I want you guys to read through and look through this list. And not only read through and look through the list, but compose your own list of the millions of things that are missing from this list. Because this is America's history, not only their history, but these are some of the things that I think about. And it may not be some of the things that you think about. Your list may be different, but you should have a list, because why? The book says, call to mind the blessings and the curses. I always take y'all back to Deuteronomy 30. Somebody get in and drop it in here. I always take you back to Deuteronomy 30, because we should be calling to mind the blessings and the curses. Where are the blessings at? 28, 1 through 14. The curses, 15 through 68. And I'm going to tell y'all every time, y'all should know both. There should be no reason why every Israelite on this planet don't know how to call to mind like what he said in 30. This is actually doing that, one. And then number two, this channel and every Israelite channel is a testimony against this wicked nation, whether they leave them up or not. Because once we say what we say, it's in the ether. And guess who here? Yeah, the rest of the family, hopefully they see it. But if they don't, guess who see it? The Father sees it. Book says somewhere he's keeping a record. There's a record. The books is going to be open. And the record of everything that was done is going to be open. It's going to be shown. Now the question is, fam, where do you stand in this line? So I'm going to throw some music on. I'm going to be gone for a couple of minutes. I want you guys to look at this list. Look at it very carefully. Don't study it, but then formulate in your own mind your own list. Formulate in your own mind the stuff that the brother left off that he should have put on there. Because like I said, this is a list from my perspective. If I'm sitting down and I'm thinking about, okay, what does America mean to me? It doesn't mean the 4th of July, although I heard about that. It doesn't mean baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean the red, white, and blue. Doesn't mean the flag. Doesn't mean none of that. That hasn't been my experience. I'm not a proud American. Matter of fact, I'm not even American. How you gonna be an American? And I'm gonna throw it out there as usual. You 3/5 of a man. How you gonna be an American? How does that work? How does that happen? Do you believe that you're an American? No, Sister Born Bold. No. This is we not with the, and sister, I see you. We not part of that no coalition. There's no such thing as no coalition. Psalms 83 didn't mention no coalition. It mentioned those who was against us. As far as I'm concerned, everybody against us. Everybody. That's not Israel. Hell, even Israel is against you to a certain degree, if you really want to think about it. So what I'm gonna do now, fam, is I'm gonna grab some music. I'm gonna tone it down a little bit. Y'all heard that cut earlier from Maverick Bronze and them. That was a good cut. But I'll play some jazz for a few minutes, then I'm gonna come back in about a minute or two, and then we're gonna get into it even deeper. All right, fam? Okay, fam, we coming back at y'all again. Again, this is Kingdom Conversations, and I want to remind everybody to jump in when the brother Ibri does his shows, and I don't know the exact times because I'm an old head, so please forgive me for that. But the brother Ibri always brings some profound and dynamite and explosive information and precepts and knowledge and wisdom for the family. So make sure that you guys are chiming in and checking the brother out. Also, the brother's got the presentation coming up on this, I believe it's this Shabbat or maybe this Sun God Day, where Christianity is going to take a major blow, because you guys saw part one to supersessionism, but now the brother's going to bring parts 2 and 3 to just part one. And the panel's going to be on. You're going to have all the brothers that's on right now, and it's going to be a dynamite time. So I recommend that you guys set your notification bell. Make sure that's on, locked and loaded, because you don't want to miss that. You're going to have all the brothers that's on the panel right now, plus the information that's coming out. Christianity, man, I tell you what, whatever pillars Christianity is standing on, just on part one, it's gonna get it's already dragged through the mud. But not only is it gonna get dragged through the mud, it's gonna get dragged through the mud, tied to the back of a car, drove 100 miles, taken off the car, have a millstone that weighs 5,000 pounds wrapped around his neck, and dropped into the sea. And hopefully it never rise again. Which is why people running out Christianity in droves, because the Father done told them it's the broad gate. Somebody find that verse where Mashiach said, "You would not have known unless the Spirit revealed it to you." This awakening ain't no joke. The heathen don't even think it's a joke now. The heathen know now. You don't think Glad know? Hey, you might be saying, who's Glad? Well, that's Vlad. Glad is Vlad. But anyway, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Before I move any further, I want to have the brothers in the that's on the panel. I want them to chime in on what they've heard just to this point, because we do have other slides. But up until this point, brother, what do you guys think about what you've heard and where your mindset is currently? And I need to get to where the chat is so that I could be able to address you guys appropriately, right? So let me get there. And brother Hal, can you share with me and the family where your mindset is currently concerning what you've seen already?
Yeah, brother. So the first question you started out with is America a moral nation? My answer would be yes, because they believe they are, right? When we look at what is it, Isaiah, look in Isaiah in chapter 5, it's like, woe unto them. They call evil good and good evil. And that's it right there. They call evil good and good evil. Woe to them. So yeah, in their mind's eye, they are a moral nation. We police the world. We preach to the world. We tell them what they should and should not be. And we do the exact same things that we tell them they ought not to do. And we don't do it behind closed doors so much anymore. It's all pretty much out in the open. So their morality is in themselves. It's in their own hearts. It's in their own heads. So in their minds, yes, they are a moral nation, full of Christianity, totally moral, absolutely.
And I like that position, because you've taken up the position of balance, right? And that's beautiful in my mind, brother Yash. What say you, brother?
Oh man. Moral? Nah. I say that I just looked at that, and I was like, I didn't even get through it. I just like, because we really, and the list goes on and on and on. I don't know. I'm kind of stumped real quick. That one, that one got me. But you know what? Bottom line is, like this. Their main one they like to say is the race car. You know, and I have yet to hear somebody tell them, well, what is that? The two of hearts,
There it is,
three
right
of
there. Too. It's
clubs.
up there. It's
You
on
know,
the
they
list.
act like it's a big card that we got, that we wham, we pulling out. You know what I mean? The big joker on somebody. Man, the race card, that ain't nothing but the two of hearts.
The worst card in the deck, right?
I'm telling you, man. I could see if it was a club, at least I'd be able to club you with it. It's a heart. And it is a heart. So that's why we loving on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always trying to pull them into the family. And now we got we got heathens in the most hardcore camps teaching. We got other groups, you know, I don't even know what to say. Everybody's inviting them in. I have yet to hear one explain to them that we're gonna take them captives, who captives they were. They coming in chains. We selling them to the Sabians. And any nation that has had their hand in dealing with us wrongly, they will all get destroyed. I don't know why we have this thing that these heathens or the Gentiles that the scripture see, and that's it. We're getting because we're getting see, we're living among these are heathens. It's a difference. It's a difference between Gentiles and heathens. Gentiles, they're going to serve us. These heathens, they're going to be destroyed. And these people are heathens. I don't care if they're nice. Like I said before, we had some nice people that got caught up in our ancestors up there. Trespasses.
That's true.
So that's the deal, man. These are heathens. That's my new correction.
Okay.
Excuse me, they're heathens.
Okay, I got you, brother. I appreciate that. Don't go nowhere, because you brought out some hammers last time we was online. So get ready to bring them hammers out. I see you, brother Kadar. What say you, brother?
Shalom, shalom, brothers. I just like to
Shalom,
say
man.
shalom to all of y'all and to the chat. And one thing I like to say to y'all, brothers, is I thank the Most High that I am not the only one. Y'all ever watch that movie X-Men when they find out that they weren't the only one that had the powers? And I'm going to tell you, I thank y'all for this, because I used to think I was crazy. But America being moral, no. As we look at it, no. But as what they look at towards themselves, because we know that who's in power now. So to them, yes, but we can see that, and that's not true. America is not. That's not nice. They're not considering the children of Israel. They know who we are, and I've been kind of upset on some teaching I've been seeing that our brothers and sisters teaching our people to run and hug and fall down to a oppressor. It's so crazy. And I would never teach nothing that crazy, because if they had any type of morals of the stuff they do to us and get by, I think Brother Yashidi just posted something on Facebook how that them cops got off for killing that brother. No, not one, just bust through the door. So, I wouldn't dare teach none of our brothers and sisters to run behind, fall down, and love our oppressors, when that's what Christianity has taught us. And Christianity is a strong delusion. And that's what you see when it says we don't fight against flesh and blood, but principalities. Christianity is part of that.
I appreciate that. I agree with you. You said something that was interesting, and I want to make a comment to that before we move on to Brother Ivory. The first thing I thought about when you said that was this nation is in control, but when you're at war, to the victor goes the spoils. And then you can frame the narrative, and then you always hear the phrase that whoever wins or whoever is in control, they get to write history. They get to write history from their perspective, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. It's more than likely going to be slanted, because if we read the history books, most of this stuff is not in there. And this is a very ridiculous list. If we put all our lists together, I saw some of the comments in the comments section. Absolutely amazing where the brothers and sisters' minds are, and how they're able to recall and grab information, right? So I appreciate you saying that, brother. Okay, brother E, what say you, brother?
Yeah, I think when you talk about morality in this nation, what you're really talking about is what's allowed according to the law. When you talk about morality in this country, you're not talking about the standard of the Most High. You basically, like I said, speaking on what's lawful or what they deem lawful. If you look at Psalms 94:20, it says, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law?" So this is what they consider moral. Their mischief, and the only thing they do is frame it by law, or they make it lawful by their standards to do mischief. But he says they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent by blood. This is by law. So this is moral. When they hung our people and lynched our people, that was considered moral. We're just now getting an anti-lynching bill, as if that's something to be proud of. But these things are lawful and moral in the land that we're in. He says, "But the Lord is my defense, and my God is my rock of my refuge, and he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, our Adonai shall cut them off." So I don't really look at morality in this country on the same notion as we look at it. It's two different things we're talking about. And just to briefly touch the current unpleasantness, nobody, and I stated this already, nobody who believed that the Apostle Paul was writing to ethnic Gentiles should be offended by what the gentleman said by saying he's an Israelite. You should be in agreement with it. And I yield on that.
I appreciate that, brother. I got two points to hit on that on your comments. One, you talked about their law, but they don't even go by their law. There's only one group of people that have to go by their law, and that's the Israelites. As soon as we get outside of any parameter, they drop the hammer on you, me, and everybody that look like you and me. They're above the law. How is it that you'll have a grade boy, he'll have a rap sheet that'll wrap around your house and my house? You live in Texas, I live in California. His rap sheet will wrap around, and he's still walking around, still committing heinous acts on the earth. You thought you had 3-strike law. 3-strike law only counts for people that look like me. This man got 1,000 strikes. Second point is and which is family. We need to have hope in the Father. In that, when the brother said he is our defense, he is our defense, right? We need to make sure that we have our hope grounded in where it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna get back to the presentation. I appreciate you brothers for chiming in. I'm gonna give you guys another opportunity to chime in as we get further along into the presentation. Let's see here. Get here. So let's go back here. So you guys will notice down here you see the term racism and white supremacy. That is what America is truly about. Let's make no mistake about it. It's not about anything else other than that. This is their religion right here. That's their religion. That's what keeps them in power. That's what keeps their groups and their cliques moving forward. That's what allows them to, with impunity, go into nations and destroy them and take all the riches, right? So, racism and white supremacy, and this is just my opinion. And my opinion is that number one, it's the religion of superiority based on skin, and it works. Not skin works, but skin that works, right? So to me, it's a religion, but not only is it a religion, it's their culture. Not only is it their culture, it's their God, white Jesus. Soon as they see that when they see Mashiach crack the sky and he looked like y'all, they gonna be like, oh no, what have we done? Somebody find that verse. Is it he? This is he whom we had sometimes in derision? Not them. He can't look like them. They're not the book. The people of the book is them small hats. They got two different types. They wear a little box on their head, then they wear them little small hats. Then you got the ones with the black hats and the long black coats. I'm not gonna stay on them long. So racism and white supremacy, that's what I believe it to be. But now, this whole thing has permeated. Now we get into what really America has taught the earth. What America has brought to the earth and taught the earth, which their ancestors already had this, but America has taught it to the earth because America has taught the earth how to treat so-called black people around the globe, right? Now, in this, I'm going to use the Germany example, and you guys can Google this. I don't even think I'm going to throw a link up for this one, but if I ask the question, who taught the Germans how to treat and subjugate the so-called Jews? What would be your answer? And if you know the answer, put the answer up in the chat. And the question is, for the Germany example, who taught the Germans, the Nazis, who taught them? Where did they get their skills from on how to execute or do whatever it is that they were doing to not only the Germans, but not only the Jews, but what they were doing when they were fighting war. And I'm going to give you guys a moment to think about that, and I'll keep repeating it. Who taught Germany their game? Who taught Hitler? Who did Hitler learn from? We said, this is how we're going to treat this people, right? Where did he get that game from? Because it shouldn't be a shock. I'm seeing all these answers. I'm going to throw some of them up now because I believe you guys understand what it is that we're dealing with. Because if America taught Germany, then wow. Then are we subjected to Nazi rulers? What are we subjected to? What have we been subjected to, fam, in this construct? Looking at the video that we critiqued the other day, and I'll say it again. The brothers who put that video out, and I'll say it on the open air, they lack a historical perspective. You cannot say that we haven't been getting our heads bashed in since 70 AD. It's on record. And you can look at the record from 1619 to now, to today. They just let them dudes off that shot that one brother. I forget his name. I just was reading the article. Somebody did mention it, but he got off. And so it's no wonder that this nation is mentioned in the book, and this nation is actually going to be judged. There's no wonder. So we got America. I like these answers. Jim Crow, the Jim Crow laws. That's interesting. Margaret Sanger, Wicked Beast. Well, yeah. Anyway, USA, Hasatan through America. That image is Shiloh. All these answers are great. All of them are great, but that's a profound answer because yeah, they were dealing with their father there, and the thing is that the father allowed them to do that. But see, America believes that they were set up to be a light on a hill, a shining light on a hill. When in reality, America was nothing more than a whipping post for the Israelites. Your final captivity that was prophesied to our great grandfather Abraham in Genesis 15:12 through 15. That's all America was. America's never been great. Never. How you gonna tell somebody to get out of that fought in your world war, who was the first ones on the beach? And I'm talking about my family, first ones on the beach. And then when you get back home, nigger, while you in your uniform, nigger, what you doing on the street? Huh? What? You talking to me? They was lynching our people in their uniforms. Huh? So now Germany got their game from America. So that means that these politicians and all these wicked people have always been here. But Europe has always been wicked as hell. Always have been. Since it's been under white rule. Yeah, I'm saying it plainly. I can't pull no punches when it comes to that, because that's not my style. Okay, so now we're going to examine the Ukrainian example. And I'm not going to put up any links per se for this. I do have a ton of links, though. I got a ton of links. But for the Ukrainian example, you guys have seen some of the information that Brother Phil from the Advice Show, he puts out concerning these things. Our brother, beloved brother, Pastor Kelly, love you, brother. If anybody knows him, we love Pastor Kelly over here. We rock 1000% with the brother because the brother brings out some great information, great truth. So shout out to Pastor Kelly. He constantly brings out information concerning the Ukraine. Now, so let's look at Ukraine for a second, right? The Ukraine example, right? So the Ukraine example has to do with, since Ukraine has been fighting against Russia, which to me, that's two people infighting, two family members having a family squabble, have at it. I'm not involved in none of what y'all doing, because I know for a fact that anything that happens on the earth is because of Israel. Yes, that over there has something to do with us. We can make that connection, but y'all over there have at it. Do your thing. Putin, thumbs up. Zelensky, thumbs up. Have at it. Do what you do and do it well. And don't think our people are going to be one praying for either one of you. Don't think for number two, we're going to be sending money to you. Don't think for number three, we're going to have anything to do with either one of you, because neither one of you is for our turn. I'm not praying for the Ukrainian. Example, when George Floyd got killed, they was talking about free Derek Chauvin. Did Zelensky say anything about that? When Ukraine started fighting and our people, so-called black people, Africans, or whomever they were, was trying to get out of there, they would let animals get on the trains before they let so-called people of color, not people of color, I'm sorry, forgive me for that, fam, so-called Africans or so-called black people. Let's make that clear. We're not about over here. We're not about go along to get along. So it's no people of color over here. We don't play that game. It's B1, right? So what was they doing to the people that was trying to get out? And guess what? I just saw a video where they got them people in concentration camps over there. The Red Cross, or anybody coming over there to volunteer, if you look like anybody in this chat, you look like any of our people, guess what they say? They gave them a brief and say that, okay, they're going to be calling you the N-word, they're going to be calling you names, this, that, and the third. Then what about the media's position? How the media is like, oh, these are blonde-haired, blue-eyed people. These are not third world countries. Huh? What are you talking about? War is war, right? Did you have that same energy when you were destroying African nations? Did you have that same energy when you've been destroying us here? Where was the sympathy? So here's what I'm thankful for in the Ukrainian example. The Ukrainian example. Well, I just caught that one, Sister Farmbo. That was a mistake, sis, because you know I don't play that people of color game. And matter of fact, I'm gonna go into this for a second. When I hear our people talking about people of color or us banding together with any other people, I think you folks in the chat know already. My stand on that is that, well, we stand alone. Ain't nobody rode with us from day one. We've been rocking out by ourselves. And quite frankly, we don't need to rock out with nobody else. If we truly understood who we were, I would rock out with Hal, Brother Banya, Brother Yash, Brother Kadar, Brother Ibri, Brother Eric Tinsley, Sister Born Bold, Trust Cafe, Anaya Yashara, Rhea Morgan, Danielle Blackshear, Image of Shiloh. You get my point. I don't need nobody else. All I need to do is get with my folks. I could rock out with my folks. We could do anything that we want to do, even in this time, especially in this time. I don't need nobody else. Let's get back to it. So the Ukrainian example, we've seen the stories that have been coming out, right? But let's take a look at the Polish example, because I think Poland is the one that has the concentration camps where they took some of the people in, and the normal Ukrainians, they get to go and be free and do whatever they want. U.S. has taken in a bunch of Ukrainians too, but you still got Africans sitting on the southern border trying to get in, right? The Polish example was Poland was like, oh no, we're not letting these niggers over here. Oh, if we do take a couple of them, we're gonna quarantine their ass and we're gonna lock them. They're gonna be in chains, and then not in chains, but they're gonna be blocked off and in a camp somewhere. They're not calling it a concentration camp, but that's what it is. We don't rock the people of color thing over here. It's us against the world. It's just Israelites. Everybody got their own ministry. They could do their own thing. That's great. But over here, it's just Israelites all day, 24/7, 28 days, 400 hours a week. That's all we rock over here. We not rocking nothing else. Never have and never will. Whether we was on the street, on YouTube, documentaries, it's Israelites. Israelites only. And I'm proud to say that. I don't care about any of these heathens that I see right here. I don't care about them. I'm going to keep moving. Now, what America has taught through its conquest is to follow them and be like them. You will notice that, of course, NATO and the European nations are going to follow and pattern themselves after America, because really that's how they've always been anyway. So they're not really following America per se, but they're all in league. Who was the ones in league to carve up Africa? What nations were those when they carved Africa up? Now, think about this for a second. Let's listen to this. That's like me and the brothers on the panel having a meeting, and we're having a meeting, and we're talking about who we're gonna carve up Los Angeles, and y'all could pick which area y'all want in LA, and then we're gonna go and take over LA, and that's ours. Huh? You're gonna carve up a whole continent that you're not even there. Be like Mikeism. European countries is be like Mike. So Their whole idea that they're supreme and they're over anyone based on their skin color. They look at everybody else as inferior. Asian, and I'm going to say other nationalities here: Asians, Indians, people from the so-called Middle East, Middle Africa, Northeast Africa, the so-called Arabs. I say so-called because I don't know who them people are. Some of them people is Amalek, and some of them people is Esau. I done did the research. But that's a whole different conversation. So you follow the leader because you might be able to get trinkets and parting gifts and special get-bys. If you got that Mikeism, be like Mikeism. You be like Mike. You can your country may be spared, right? Because the fourth beast got dominion over the earth. His dominion he's slowly losing control over it, and we seeing what the Father is doing right now. The French and the British, that's correct. The French and the British, all them wicked European nations had a hand. Every one of them had a hand, right? And the only reason, how they can look at you, not the only reason, how they look at you helps to allow them to do the things that they do. If they don't see you as human, it's easy for them to be wicked as hell. Point blank. Easy for them to do that. Okay, so I didn't put up any links on that part, but I do want the brothers to chime in, and this time we're going to go from back to forward. We're going to kick off with you, Brother E. What say you about racism and white supremacy, bro?
I say it's alive and well, prevalent in many different forms, regardless of what Jesse Lee Peterson say.
Indeed. Jesse Lee Peterson is my hero. Y'all know I'm playing, right?
Man, I love to go on his show.
He'll turn your mic off, man. He'll say mute that Negro, please.
Nah, I'll be nice.
Yeah, I'm sure you would be. He'll be ready to fight you, man.
Yep.
I already see how that go, man. I can see that in my mind's eye, and it ain't a good look for you. You'll get arrested for beating the hell out of an old man.
Nah, I don't do that. But I do think racism also is a game that our people, we don't play. We don't know how to play, in terms of us sticking to ourselves, putting ourselves first. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But other than that, I yield on that.
Brother Kadar, what say you, bro?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I'm raised up in the South, so I've been seeing this stuff all my life. That's part of the reason I moved away. But when we grew up, when it was racism, boy, we let them have it. I guess we'd probably be dead or shot and killed at this time because we really put the beat down on that. But one thing I would say is this, that white supremacy and Christianity is one and the same. I put a picture up on Facebook of a white Jesus. I did it on purpose. And I want to see how many of our brothers and sisters will say, amen, hallelujah, and only hit one. So we can see our people, they ain't falling for that white Jesus, even though they still stuck in, white supremacy Christianity. I guess they believe he's an Arab. I don't know. But they ain't fall for that white Jesus. But I think that, I ain't gonna say I think, according to what I see, is that even I work with some Africans, guys from West Africa, what they call Africans. You think we colonized. They was telling me that Ishmael was a white man that Abraham was a white man. Oh man, I just took them down the lane and destroyed them. And the guy, he said, "Wait a minute, was Hagar? She was a." I said, "She's a black Egyptian." And you up there talking about, that Ishmael was a white man. He got stuck. I mean, these people are way more lost than we are, and they from the land. This is how bad white supremacy has completely flooded the whole land, the continent of Africa, to the part where we got more knowledge on what's going on than they do, and they just left the land. I think 10 years ago. I mean, this is bad. So I guarantee you, if we can get our hands on the book, the original books that they got over there in the Vatican, hiding them, I bet you them prophecy even speak of what we talking about right now. Probably even speak by name in the Hebrew language.
Bro, what you did and what you just said was actually prophetic too, believe it or not. Because if Africa, and I wouldn't say the whole of Africa, is that backwards, it's no wonder that who's been leading the awakening. That's not by accident that the leaders of the awakening has been the folks that went through the killing fields of slavery in America. Point blank, period. Nobody else on the earth could say that. I'll say it again. The leaders of the awakening have been the brothers and sisters. Can't forget my sisters, sorry about that. The brothers and sisters, our ancestors that went through the killing fields here in America, have been leading the charge. Is that an accident? Put a 1 up if you believe that's by design. That's by design of the Father. Put a 1 up if you believe that's the Father's design. Why is it that the brothers in America was leading the charge of the awakening? Why is that? Think the Father don't know what he's doing? Who's been the boldest talking about we the people of the book? Yeah, I'm gonna mention the brothers in camps, the brothers on the street, because I used to be a brother on the street, wasn't in the camp. But we would get out there and let them have it. Cracking everybody, Christian, Muslim, atheist, Catholic, fake few, Netanyahu's cousin nephew, cracking their head open to the white meat with the book. Boldly. Never pulling no punches. Why? We the people of the book, we supposed to stand up and be bold. Somebody get that precept where we supposed to be bold as a lion. Y'all know where it is. Look at here. This is one of my favorites right here. His battle axe. Huh? That's why we don't play that. We don't play that. We care about the heathen game over here. We don't play that game. That's a game, folks. You need to take care of your house first. Then you can look out. Look, you at the bottom of the barrel and you looking at taking care of somebody else's house when your house burning in flames. Your house on fire, but you look at your neighbor. Oh, neighbor, you sick? Oh, neighbor, your house on fire too? Let me put your house out first. Huh? Where's your mind at? How about let's fix Yasharallah first? And then after we get on par and after we popping, then we can go see somebody else. Huh? Israel is his battle axe and weapon of war. That's what the books say. Huh? The wicked flee when none pursue it, but the righteous are bold as a lion. Bring it out, sis. Thank you. We don't have to pull no punches in these times with these people. We know we the people of the book. That's not even a discussion anymore. But us trying to say the heathen, you have fun with that. That's not my call. My call is to give my people information and give my people hope. according to what the book says, not according to what Cleo thinks. Huh? Brother Yash, what say you, bro?
You said it in your points, and that's the main thing that I always try to reiterate and remind our people about. We are always in the position of trying to prove to them that we are human. We do everything in our power trying to get them to see that we are human. And I'm trying to get our people to see, no, they are monsters. Stop that. Stop trying to prove to them that we're humans and tell them the truth that they monsters, and that they going into captivity if they're lucky. That's the way I'm feeling. And I'm sorry, but that's the book. And they act like we don't have a right to express our feelings according to what the book is saying. When the Most High told us to cry, keep on crying until he rise up to the prey. So they telling us to shut up, go along to get along, reintegrate, because we're going to be integrated in the kingdom. And yeah, they have some scriptures, but I can I'll put that in the proper context. That's not the thing right now. The thing is, no, we still separate. And the thing is, we need to, you're not going to deny me of my right to cry out to the Most High of their wickedness till he rise up to the prey. And if part of my crying out is telling them the truth, let the chips fall where they may. Because we ain't going to win nobody. See, and that's what they do. What they used to say in the church, trying to sugarcoat the truth. Doing anything to get these people on our side. Like we're not like them, those Negroes over there. That thing. That part. We not like, that's what you're really saying. We're not like them over there. No, you ain't, because over here, I'm gonna cut you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut you.
Indeed. Brother Hal, what say you, brother?
Yeah, Brother Cleo, I just think race and racism, and white supremacy, Christianity, it's all just one big spell. It's all just one big witchcraft spell just cast on everybody on this earth. Man. It's crazy to me how they could take Yahushua HaMashiach, probably, one of the quote unquote black man, and just turn him into a white man. Poof. Poof. He's a white man, right? We could even go back and we can show people, right? Israelites Israelites who know who they are now can show people that his disciples in Acts were called, but they say Niger, right? But we know that's nigger, right? We know that's a nigger. We can show them that it was used back then, starting the beginning of this spell through Christianity, and they still won't see it. Our people still won't see it. Race is I hate to even call race a social construct, because I think that gives it some validity. It's not even a social construct. It's evil. It's witchcraft. And it goes along with Christianity and white supremacy. And that's all it is. And we've even come into this space now. And I know some of us do it. I've done it myself, where we like to call ourselves black and brown people. I just don't jive with that anymore, because where did brown come from? You know what people who call themselves brown people are trying to say? They're trying to say they're not black people. That's what they're trying to say. They're trying to exclude themselves from being black, but they still want whatever recompense we get for being black people, quote unquote black people, whatever we get for that, or whatever we might get for that, that's in the positive sense. They want to be a part of it. See, they want the blessings, but they don't want the curses. Brown people. I'm a dark skinned black man, quote unquote black man, and I'm still not black. My skin is not black, it's brown. Black and brown people. Wow.
Hey, brother Hal.
We have taken this white supremacy, race and racism thing, and we have sewn it into every fiber of our being. And it's just straight up witchcraft.
Yes. Hey,
Brown
brother Hal, I was
people
gonna
are
say they
white.
Samaritans.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that, brother Yash? I didn't hear.
Oh yeah, brother E was gonna say, but I say the Samaritans. Remember, it said the Samaritans when when Israel was doing good, the Samaritans was on the bandwagon. But when and they were saying, "Oh, we the people," but then when we fell on hard times, they would say, "Oh no, we not them, we us." That's that bracket. That's that coalition they asking for. I ain't asking for nothing. But brother E, you was saying something.
No, I just said it's crazy because the brown people are white.
There you go.
Beige. We should start calling them beige.
Hey, brother Hal, you said something about Niger. I forgot to say that these Africans I work with, that's where they from, Niger. They didn't even know nothing about the Niger River. Just start talking about it. I was like,
But
damn.
and you know what? Years ago, I learned though. This was back in the '90s or maybe late '80s. I seen it. That's when I said, "Oh shoot!" They was getting they was showing oh, it was in the '80s because they were still going through the apartheid, and they was burning down I think Soweto or something, and they was tearing them people up. And I remember the guy, he was crying, and and they translated him, and he said, my God, why is this happening to us?" He said, "We don't know who we are." And we don't, yeah, he said, we don't know. He said, "We don't know who we are." I said, "Oh, shoot." That's when I realized they had a problem. I said, "Dad, the Africans don't even know who they are."
Wow. That's again, it's funny that he had to been taught or been educated or spoke to a so-called Judite. I call you a so-called Judite, brother, because it has been said that most of the people that are here in America are from the tribe of Judah. That's why I say so-called, and I'm not saying so-called like you're not a person of the book. I'm just using that as an example that he was communicated to and with by a Judite, and the Judite had to set him straight. Ain't that something? But that's prophetic. The Bible speaks about that. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next slide, fam. And now we're going to tie in the what America taught how to treat so-called black people and what's happening and what we're seeing today on the earth, right? So, wrong way. So, now the question is this: who is America aligned with currently, right? Openly, America is aligned with the Ukraine, right? Put a one up if you believe America is aligned with the Ukraine. So America is aligned with NATO and the European nations. Notice that NATO doesn't have any so-called African nations with it. You guys notice that? How come NATO doesn't have any African nations? North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Not an African nation in it. See a lot of ones coming up. Who is America aligned with? It's a question. So America is aligned mostly with European nations, but if you ask the question, what has America taught these nations? Did America teach these nations their brand of white supremacy? My answer would be yes, and I have proof. That's an interesting comment. They're rooting for Putin too in Africa. Okay, so let's look at the next two questions, and then I'm going to start throwing up some links, right? Who is America aligned with? Let's address that with a link first. Okay, so I'm going to throw up a link now. I'm going to start throwing up links because that's what I can do at this time. Put a one up if you've heard of Azov Regiment. Azov, A-Z-O-V Regiment. Put a one up if you heard of Azov Regiment. Put a one up if you heard of Right Sector. Those are two. Azov Regiment recently changed their name to Azov Battalion. And they're a fighting wing of the Ukrainians, right? Know this too, fam. A lot of your white supremacist groups here have relationships with these Eastern European and Western European nations. So much so that they train together. Sometimes they come here. Sometimes they go there. Azov Battalion, Azov Regiment, Right Sector. Put a one up if you've heard what they are or if you know what they are. Right? While you're doing that, we're going to throw it up on Wiki. Recently changed their name to Azov Battalion. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. Let me get back to the stream, y'all. Hold on a second, fam. Okay, so it's not on the screen, so I'm going to have to stop sharing. Hold on a second. Actually, you know what I need to do? I need to stop the presentation. Brother, figure it out. Hold on a second, fam. Okay, we got that. Let's kill that. And that should kill the presentation. Okay, cool. Okay, we'll minimize that for now. We'll share this screen. We're going to do some linkage now. Okay, so you guys see that Azov Battalion, right? What is Azov Battalion? Azov Battalion was and still is a racist white wing militia group that is now part of, this is what their name used to be, is a neo-Nazi unit of the National Guard of Ukraine. Whoa. I didn't make this up. So YouTube can't say nothing about this. I'll read it again. Is a unit, Azov Battalion. They changed their name. Used to be known as Azov Regiment. Now they're called Azov Battalion. This just recently changed. To this name. Is a neo-Nazi unit of the National Guard of Ukraine. Now, this is who Biden and them and the U.S. and them is getting down with. And they were based in Mariupol, which Mariupol was getting the crap bombed out of them. And you guys can go in and read what they are, who they are, and all of that, their size, and this isn't true. But America is funding right now white nationalists in Ukraine. Let that sink in. Knowingly. Brother, you say knowingly? Yeah, knowingly. I got how you young stars say? I got receipts. I got receipts for what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get it. Hold on a second. We'll get to it. That's that one right there. So Azov Regiment, Azov Battalion is a white nationalist crew. And guess what? They have been doing supposedly inflicting some damage, supposedly, but I don't believe the media. So, they can tell somebody that the moon is made out of cheese or something ridiculous like that and have folks believing it, right? But I digress. So that's the information on Azov Battalion. You guys can Google it. You guys know the name of it now. So how is it that America is aligned with Azov Battalion? How does that happen? What does that mean? How are you aligned with an arming and training, which you've been arming and training them since your inception, but you're arming and training these people now, right? So where's your receipt, bro? Let me find it because I got some links here. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Here it is right here. Here's one of them. Rights groups demand Israel to stop arming neo-Nazis in Ukraine. Human rights activists, and this is coming from Haaretz.com, a Jewish site. Rights groups demand Israel stop arming neo-Nazis in Ukraine. Human rights activists petition the court to cease Israeli arms exports to Ukraine since some of these weapons reach neo-Nazi elements in Ukraine's security forces, which not just Azov Regiment, all of them. And you know what, fam? I need to be sharing my screen. Sorry about that. Share screen and bam and bam. Okay, there's the article from Haaretz. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. Rights group demands Israel stop arming neo-Nazis in Ukraine. And here's what I just read. Human rights activists petition the court to cease Israel arms exports to Ukraine since some of these weapons reach neo-Nazi elements in Ukraine's security forces. Zelensky is a so-called Jew. Look at what it says here. An Azov militiaman with a Tabor. And it's a YouTube screenshot. This is Haaretz. This isn't Ebri.com. It's not HalGoodwin.com. It's not Cleothora.com. It's not Salt of the Earth Productions. A group of more than 40 human rights activists have filed a petition with the High Court of Justice demanding the cessation of Israel arms exports to the Ukraine. Now, here's why I'm showing this article. This article is dated back July 9, 2018. I did that for a reason. It's not for the current war, but it is for the current war, but it was for their proxy war that they've been fighting against Russia, right? This isn't a newfound phenomenon, fam, that just happened last week or 2 weeks ago. This article is dated, look here, July 9th, 2018. So there's been an issue over there. Guess who Azov Regiment trained with and Right Sector trained with, and you'll see in white racist nationalist groups here talk about these groups, and they train with these groups. We got receipts for this, fam. This is who Israel and the US get down with. This article is dated before Putin even invaded, July 9, 2018. I got some more receipts too. Who is America aligned with? Who do they get down with? My enemy is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Who says that? Who gets down that way? Throw up another article. The globalization of far-right extremists, an investigative report. If you guys want this link, I'll put this link in the chat. I'll copy it, put it in the chat. Look at who they're focusing on, folks. Europe, Germany, the US, all of these people are complicit. But this is mostly focused on Europe. and the date is June and July, and this is the volume. So they go in and talk about the rise at this time when they did this report on right-wing extremism, but the globalization of it. Who globalized it? The United States. Who everybody copy off of? The United States. Who everybody got Mikeism, want to be like Mike? The United States. They done push how they treated our people all over the whole earth. But those people were already like that anyway. Trump just gave them license to be free. Trump gave them license to be free in what they were doing, right? I'm not going to read this article, but this is a global phenomenon. In recent years, analysts the fact that right-wing extremists are cooperating internationally. Check that out, fam. I'm not making this up. They get down with the folks over here just like they get down. David Duke know them, and they know him. What's that one? Dylan Roof, he know them and they know him. Cooperating internationally more than ever today is a reality recognized by most researchers and government officials. This article describes some of the mechanisms that are fueling this development. The main finding is that right-wing extremists today, in many cases, no longer subscribe to the narrow concept of nationalism, but instead imagine themselves as participants in a global struggle against a global enemy. Consequently, networking and cooperating across borders is seen as a necessity. The process is further supported by shared ideological writings, technological advancement, and the conflict in the Ukraine. This is July and August of 2021, fam. This isn't something that came out last week. They've been on this, and I'm gonna prove that too. They've been on this for a minute, not just over the last couple of years. They've been on this one for a minute, and I'm gonna prove that. Look at that though, which has served as powerful accelerators. So make no mistake about it. The United States has pushed their ideology all over the earth and pushed it definitely into wicked ass Europe. Definitely have done that. So if you guys want, I'll drop this link in the chat and you guys can read it on your own. And this link comes from Combating Terrorism Center, the Combating Terrorism Center. So let me find the chat and I'll drop that link in there. If you guys want me to drop some other links in there, just let me know and I'll definitely do that as well. So we bring in the receipts as far as what America has taught the earth. America has taught the earth that it's okay for you to be a hateful individual. Matter of fact, those of us that are hateful, we need to gather together and we need to fight our extinction, because that's basically what they're doing. They're fighting their extinction, basically. Indeed. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it moving. Hold on a second. I got a special service announcement. Okay, I see you, bro. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's keep it moving. Let's go back to the question, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen. The questions that we have that we're answering, right? And I'm gonna bring the PowerPoint up real quick. I'm not gonna make it go full screen, and then I'm gonna throw it back down. So here's the thought. Here's what we're thinking about, fam. Who is America lying with? The enemy of my enemy is my friend, or we have always been buddies. So have America always been buddies with these people in the Ukraine, Azov, Right Sector, and all these other white supremacist groups that are operating in this war that America just gave 15, 16, 17, 20, 25, 50 billion to? That's only what they saying that they gave. We don't know what they gave because every day they talking about another billion. Who getting that money? Hal, you getting some of that? What about you, Yash? Kadar, I know Kadar getting some of it, and E probably getting 50% of it. How E work? He probably
You're
get
right.
50%. Go ahead, bro.
No, I say, yeah, right. That's the problem. They need to give us our money so we can get up out of here.
Good. Rise up off them ends, right? They need to get up off that money. They do. And the funny thing is, they know that they need to. They slow walking it. They slow walking what they owe. They know they owe. I'm gonna throw up another link here. This is one that's about Azov province recently. But this gives some historical perspective too. Then I'm gonna hit the historical perspective. So this was 16 hours ago, supposedly. Corporate media parrots the Azov battalion. Over a month into Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the Western corporate media now uncritically passes on information sourced from the fascist Azov regiment or battalion. During 2014 United States-backed coup of elected President Victor, I'm not even going to work on your last name, dude. I can get it, but I don't care about your last name. The general stance of Western media towards Kyiv was uncritically downplaying or ignoring the leading role fascist forces played in bringing down the Yanukovych government. United States backed Azov Battalion, 2014. Didn't I tell you it wasn't a recent phenomenon, fam? The proxy war, they was backing Azov Battalion. And who else was I mentioning? Right sector. And here's another group, Svoboda Party. I'll put this link in the chat too. You guys can have at it with the links. Put that in there too. So you guys think this is a recent found phenomena that the United States and Russia have been fighting, this proxy war they've been fighting, and that it done spilled out into the streets? And oh, you've got these poor Ukrainians. Oh, they are so sick. Oh, they are raping the women. Oh, the children. Oh, what about gator bait? What about that? You tie a baby to a tree or to a rope and put them out there and let them get and let them attract alligators so they can get eaten. Huh? The United States has no position to talk about nobody war crimes. The brother that just got the men that killed that boy with that no-knock warrant got off. Why? Who complained about that? Ukrainians gonna say something about that? What Ukraine got to say about that? I want to hear it. I want to hear what they got to say. And until then, yeah. Okay. I mentioned right sector. I got that link up too. I'm gonna throw them up right quick. Right sector is another group. And mind you, found they got a lot of groups. Founded in November 2013. And some of them train with United States individuals as well. Let's see here where I want to go next. Yeah, I want to go here. I did a Google search. Actually, before I do that, I want to find that. Hold on, fam. Give me a minute. I want to check my links because I got some more links that I sent to myself, and I want to look at those because some of those may have some of the okay, we got that with corporate media parrots. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Check this link out, fam. Check this one out. This is a good one. Check this link out. Okay? This is from The Guardian. Azov fighters are Ukraine's greatest weapon and may be its greatest threat. That's a double-edged sword. I'll read the title again. But check this out, fam. Here's the crazy part. This isn't 2022. This isn't 2018. This is Wednesday 10th, September 2014, right? This is almost 10 years ago. Azov fighters are Ukraine's greatest weapon and maybe its greatest threat. And they make it seem like Azov Regiment, that's what I call them, that's what I know them as. They make it seem that Azov Battalion is some new phenomena that they just said, okay, we need fighters. We'll bring Azov Regiment or Azov Battalion in. No. They've been in. U.S. been giving them weapons. U.S. been funding this. The U.S. and the Fuse been funding this. They've been funding it. Not me. I think Yash been funding them a little bit, but that's between me and Yash based on some information I got. I read, it said right here, Yash, which he said is not his real name, is a native of East Ukraine. See Yash right there. Oh, wait a minute, that's Dimitri. Sorry about that, Yash. That wasn't you. I'll put this article in the chat too. Azov far right-wing fighters, Ukraine neo-Nazis. So is this a newfound phenomenon? No. Who taught the earth that white was right? And everything else was nothing. Frontline. 2014. Not last week. Not 2 weeks ago. Biden didn't know about these dudes? Biden just sent them $50 billion. He didn't know about them? Biden didn't know about these dudes. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, another terrorist group. That's right. To the max. It's unfounded. Now here's why it's a double-edged hypocrisy, because of the fact that you can give these people that look like yourself $50 billion, but you can't cut me my checks so I can get the hell out of here. How about that? I get a check, I'm out of here. I make no balls about it. First plane smoking. They got flights leaving at 3 a.m., Brother C. Okay, I'm with that. Straight with it. I would hope to see some of y'all over there, but I'm not leaving till the rest of the family start leaving or till it's time for us to go. That's the second Exodus. Now, going back to that video that was critiqued, you talking about the second Exodus going to be greater than the first. I don't even think the brothers who did that video even considered that. Y'all, somebody give me that precept where they say, where the book say, you're going to forget about the first one and you only going to be talking about and thinking about and moving. They're not even going to be worried about the first one because the second one going to be so great. Got to gather people from all nations where he say he scattered. That's bull. That's not no the facts. Somebody saying, oh, this is the facts. No, go to the book and get it out the book. Don't tell me you bringing facts. I can say I'm bringing facts all I want to. But if I'm not telling you it's in the book, then I'm wasting my time. Period. You telling me about facts, bro, when you just stating your opinion. This is not this whole Ukraine, US thing, Russian thing is not nothing new. Books say ain't nothing new in the sun. But this been going on for a minute, fam. Don't be surprised. Check this out. Dmitry, which he said is not his real name, is a native of East Ukraine and a member of Azov Battalion, a volunteer grouping that has been doing much of the frontline fighting in Ukraine's war with pro-Russian separatists. The Azov, one of many volunteer brigades to fight alongside the Ukrainian army in the east of the country, has developed a reputation for fearlessness in battle. They probably be hopped up on cocaine and alcohol and everything else, which give them that liquid courage, which they don't mind doing stuff when they high. I'm quite sure of that. They probably be on H and everything else. Yeah, you're going to be fearless if you own something. I doubt that you like that on a normal, but I digress. Okay, so I think I made my case on that one, fam. I do believe I made my case. So the question, let's get back to the questions. Let's get back to them. Because you guys do know that there's infighting going on right now, right? There's infighting going on. There's infighting going on between the white right and the Republican and the Democrat phenomena, right? And I call it a phenomenon because it's nothing but another religion. The Republican Democrat thing is nothing but another religion. So we see who America is lying with based on what they've taught other nations to do. The Germans haven't changed their spots. The Germans are still on that Hail Hitler. Double H 88, 1488. Look up those two numbers, fam. If you don't know what they mean, look up what 14 means to the white supremacists. Look up what 88 means. 88 is two H's, which the number H, which is the number 8, which is the HH means Hail Hitler. And the 14 is the 14 words. Y'all go look that up so y'all would know. Supposed to know how y'all enemy moving and how they thinking. So when you see these symbologies, when you see these things, you know who you dealing with. Which 99.9% of the time, when you dealing with them, you dealing with somebody that hates you anyway. There's secret hating and there's open. Some of them open with it. Right now, Trump got these people out there rabid mind. They acting out like incredibly. I'm not even going. At a later time, I'll go into what happened with me at the airport with a Karen, right? I'm not going to go into that now. Look at these last two parts, though. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Or we have always been buddies. U.S. have always been buddies with these white supremacist groups all over the earth. How is it that you can cobble together a bunch of people? They can say, okay, we're going to go out and buy 100 acres in the middle of South Dakota. Just pick a state, right? And then what we're going to do there is we're going to train for, quote, the race war. And as we're doing training, we're going to bring Azov Battalion, Right Sector, the different groups in Italy, the different groups in Poland, different groups in Yugoslavia, and they can come here and train freely. Matter of fact, we can get funded by whoever we get funded by, whoever that may be. And after we get funded by them, no one's going to come and knock on our door and say, hey, Azov Regiment buddies, Mr. Tim Spencer, you guys have to shut this thing down because you guys are a threat to our national security. No. What they're going to do is they're going to get support. The insurrection was who? The same people. Nothing different. Same people. Military, police, Secret Service. That's not tied to this? That's not the same people? Now, I'm not gonna say this one, but I will. Why don't you, Hal and Kadar, go get 100 acres somewhere talking about you training so-called African Americans for the race war? See how long that lasts. Whether you do openly or secretly. See how long that lasts. Not saying it can't be done. What I am saying is you're going to get this. Hal, bring your black ass out here. We're taking you in. We're talking about you're arming up for a race war. We're taking you in. Tim Spencer didn't get locked up, but Hal will. Why? Goes back to what I said earlier. So-called African Americans have always been held to a higher standard of the law. So-called Caucasians have never had to obey the law. Big difference. America always been aligned with Azov Regiment, Azov Battalion, and any other racist group because The American military industrial complex is a racist group in and of itself, even though they got people that look like us in it. Who making the policies? Not me. Let's go on to the next one. So, in America's morality, it has been noted and on record that one, they have globally destroyed nations. They have plundered nations. They have deconstructed nations by destroying them, plundering them by taking all the resources out and not paying the people. I just saw where a African mask that was stolen, or some African artifact, I saw this yesterday, was stolen by France and from Ghana, I believe. And the Ghana complained about it while the auction was happening, and it still went on and sold for $40-something million. That's plunder. That mask doesn't belong to you. How is it that the European countries set up museums? You set up a museum in England, right? In London, but you got Egyptian artifacts in it. Who does that? How do you do that? That didn't come from your nation. Why do you have them stored? Why does Vatican Roma have all of those books that they say that they burned in Alexandria, which they did not? Anybody believe that? You a fool. They didn't burn them books. They took them books. They took people who knew how to read them books, and they got the game and wisdom and knowledge from them books. Were they able to get all the game? No. But why does Vatican Roma and the Vatican Roma have 50 miles of books and information and artifacts underneath it? Why? Why not share that information with the world if you're not trying to stay in power, or if you don't believe that you're supreme, or you don't believe that your way is the right way? It is not. But guess what? Somewhere in the book, somebody need to go get it. Somewhere in the book, it says, seal up the book until the time of the end. Now, if we are in that time of the end, guess what? The books have been opened. That's why you're able to receive the understanding that you have when you sit down and read the book. It's different now. It's way different. Time is sped up. Has time not sped up? Put a 1 up if you believe time is sped up. You could start your day and you wake up and do your work, do your job, come home and all that. It'll be a week later, it'll be a month later, and you'll be looking, hey, where did all that time go? Somebody sped the clock up. And I noticed this a few years ago. The clock has been sped up on time. And it's just flying through. Now, I say that to say, if the Father has given you a work, please do it. I implore you, whatever he's given you, do it. Do it. You're going to have encouragement from the brothers that salt of the earth. You're going to have encouragement. If you send us an email, whatever endeavor you're trying to do, look, I'm not worried about the Ukraine-Russian war. I'm not worrying about any war. Why? Because I know, according to the book, and I say this all the time, I'm going to say it again, the next superpower is not Russia, it's not China, it's not America, it's not Japan, it's not Australia, it's not Poland, it's not Yugoslavia, it's not Ukraine, it's not Italy. The next superpower on the earth, and you hear it all the time, we got next is the kingdom of the Israelites. Put a 1 up if you believe that. You keep going. You done plundered nations. You done deconstructed nations, tore them down. And then you go in and charge the nation to rebuild that nation, or you leave it in shambles. Somebody gonna make the money for the rebuild. It's not gonna be me. After you deconstruct, you reconstruct. And as you're reconstructing, you put in a regime that will do your bidding. Then you deny those from those nations that you've destroyed access to resources, by removing the control mechanisms that they had in the first place, thus destroying that nation. You have done this since 70 AD. Not just America, but the whole of these different beasts that have been running shop. Somebody get the verses say that says what happens when the wicked rule. The earth is in mourning right now because of these wicked entities that's being controlled by the powers and principalities over these different areas over the earth. Global destruction. Right now, this flag right here, if I can get up there, hopefully I can figure out there. This flag right here that you see in the background is responsible for this. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for a minute, and I want to get my brother's comments on what they just heard. Let me stop sharing my screen. I'm going to press escape on that. Get that down. Get back to the yard. So, brothers, what do you guys think about what you heard? Hal, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I mean, America stems from the European powers, right? And what do they claim, and what have they always claimed? Catholicism, Christianity. I think it all just kind of stems to that and roams back to that. It all ties in. They used us, right? They used us. They used us to grow this country, to make it, quote unquote, what a great country it is in the name of Christianity. They went in and colonized all of the African countries. They basically colonized the world, except those places that wouldn't let them in. Places like Upper Europe, as I like to call it, Russia, places like China, places that wouldn't let them in, that they couldn't get their hands on. And now it's just, all coming back to bite them. Now we're starting to see the end of this world power, starting to see the end of it. And glory to Yah, we are alive to see it. We are alive and knowing who we are, children of Yah. It's a wonderful and great thing.
Yes. And our answers is in the book. There's two questions that our answers in the book was like, when we gonna see these things? Are we gonna be? They wanted to be the ones to see what we seeing right now. They thought that they was gonna be the ones to see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting, bro. I get goosebumps every time I even talk about that.
Yep.
Not only that, but when in Revelation, somebody go get it. I believe it's Revelation 14 is what I want. They asked the question. Our people asked the question: how long till you avenge thee? Somebody go get it.
Mm.
Those are people talking about that. Father, how long is it going? They talking to their father, our father, they father. They already on the other side talking about, hey, how long you gonna avenge us? Avenge our blood. White evangelicals won't talk about that. They think it's the blood of so-called Christianity, and that's another myth. How they believe that they're gonna be the ones on the persecution. We've been under persecution. The Ukraine war and inflation and what's happening right now is nothing new to us. Nothing. Because we done already, the Father threw the kitchen sink at us already. Do we think we care about Ukraine and Russia? You think we even care about America against China and Russia and Iran and everybody else? We don't care about that. We care about doing our Father's will, and the second exit is us getting up out of here and going somewhere to be at peace. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for no rapture. Nobody coming out the sky to save a heathen that's done all the wickedness against our people known. Huh? We're not looking for that. Brother E, what you think so far, bro? What you think about that last part, man? I want to get your perspective on it.
I think a lot of that diagram you showed is not only what they've done to the world, but to us directly, even within this nation, you know.
Mm.
And so it's definitely a foreshadow of everything that they're about and what they consider morality. And also when you look at the Ukraine thing, it definitely it sort of confirmed some of the suspicions I had about some of the interests that this nation has over in that area, and why a lot of the onslaught is going on in those areas, and why they, you know, send all the money there. It's a lot. I had a video where a lady was going into that as well, showing how Ukraine was a big part of the U.S.'s biochemical experiments and things like that. They had a lot of money invested, and then not to mention uh, President, what's his name?
Putin or Biden?
Biden. I guess he's just that not that relevant to me, but his son, you know, the information coming out about his son, all this stuff is lining up. So yeah, man, I see it all the way.
Yeah, you talking about Biden and the laptop and all that money that they was getting.
Yeah.
And all of that there. But them downplaying their relationship with these entities and how long they've been connected with these entities. That's astounding to me. Let's see. Brother Yash, what say you, brother?
I almost don't want to say it because I was thinking the other day about it just hit my mind about when they shut us down for a second. And what came to my mind was I remember giving out all this information and everything that I said at that time, I broke down off the top of my head what the US was doing in Ukraine. And today you brung out all the receipts. Everything that I talked about that day, you brung out all the receipts on what we was talking about. I said, wait a minute, maybe that's what it must have been what I said about this incident. You brung out all the receipts. So, but I did have something to say. So they pulling in 100,000 of these. They're gonna say, I'm gonna call them soldiers, men and women.
See. Okay, keep going, bro. I'm not going to interrupt you. Sorry.
You know what I'm saying? No.
Yes,
Interrupt me. I yield right at there.
No. Keep going, bro. Sorry. No, keep going with that train of thought. I wanted to hear from me. I want to hear from you.
No, that's when you were bringing it out. I was thinking all this. I was like, wow. And they bringing in. They waiting there at the border of Mexico. So, because I wanted to bring this at the end, because what came to my mind was how it was in the book of Jasher when they was talking about our ancestors, and they brung up when they recanted history. See, we have the scriptures, and the Vatican is holding these books, and they're holding these books, I believe, of all our exploits. Because when they came up there and brung us before the Pharaoh to find out what happened, he said they went to the time of he brung up about when Abraham first went into the land of Egypt, and how he basically he lied about Sarah and caused and the Most High punished Pharaoh and his household for that. Then they brought up Isaac, how when Isaac did the same thing about with Rebecca, and the same thing happened to the Philistines. And then they brought up about how Jacob deceived, this is their point, Esau out of the blessing. Then they brought up how the sons of Jacob had went into Shechem and deceived all them. See, there's a pattern. How they deceived the children of Shechem and got them all circumcised and destroyed that whole nation.
Yeah,
So what?
That was when that man violated their sister.
See, no. See, what they don't never tell their dirt though. They're always making themselves the victim. Remember, they gave us the 2 of hearts and told us it was the race car, and we bought it.
You sound like a now you playing a victimhood card, bro. Stop it.
That's what they do. So they play this victim about every time we got beat down, but all the while we can't see, they're plotting against us. So you're arming these people years in advance because you arming them in 2018 because you know that 2019 is coming. You gave yourself an extra year. Now they done pushed it back and gave themselves an extra 2 years because they don't know when this is coming, but they feel it coming. So you provoke a nation to chase them out so you can bring them here. And this is just my little conjecture. This ain't really it, but it looked like it's working that way to fight against us.
You know what I think? I think they ultimately planning on fighting Mashiach.
Oh, they definitely planning on fighting Mashiach, but that's why they trying to bring people here because they expect him to come here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's why I was saying what I was saying earlier, because the same thought that you had, brother, when they said that they was gonna bring 100,000 of them over here, I said that them 100,000 warriors right there. That's Azov Battalion, that's right sector and left sector and blue sector and
but we got 144 for them.
They here to fight me and you. 100,000 warriors. That's what you're doing. And that's the number you saying, right?
Yeah, I be peeping their game, man, because that's what they do.
Yes, sir.
But I'm just a conspiracy person, and I'm the conspiracy head.
Man, listen. How you gonna treat the Haitians? Be whooping them on horseback, whooping them, talk about they can't come in. Then all of a sudden, and they done had disaster after disaster, which for me, I can go into a conspiracy theory and said that was caused by scalar wave or HARP, the destruction that was done in Haiti so that they can get all the minerals and resources up out of there.
Well,
I can say that, but I'm not gonna say that, right? I can say that the Bushes got billions and billions of dollars from that disaster that happened because they controlling all the resources. I can say that, but I'm not gonna say that. Remember, this is fair use, YouTube. This is for fair use. I don't run Mina Airport. Who runs Mina Airport and what is Mina Airport?
Well,
not even gonna go there with you. I'm not gonna go there with you, Yash. I'm not gonna go there with you. So, fam, here's what I'm gonna do. I think we're at 2.5, and I only like to rock out for 2. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say the tie-in with Pewton for next week, and we're gonna get into who Pewton is, and what that's gonna do is that's gonna give you some time to think about it, because make no mistake about it, Pewton, Biden, Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, Harry S. Truman, Mikhail Gorbachev, Macron, the Chancellor of Germany, which is Hitler's daughter, that woman, and any of these other people have not been and never will be for our turn. But I want you guys to research Putin a little bit and then bring me something back to the table. Yash, I know you got a deck of cards that you got. You played something on me that's a bomb, and I don't want you to play it right now, but that's a nuclear bomb that
Yeah.
you played, bro.
Actually, I gotta find it. I'm kind of glad that this is gonna spill over to the next one because
Yeah,
I'm going to find that information, and I
we're gonna
will
we
have
gonna
it.
yeah. We're gonna run that to the next one because here's why. We didn't set the stage and the table for the other side of this, and the other side and how it's related is really understanding who Putin is, what he is, and what he is doing or what he says he's doing. Why that's being played down in the media and you never hear CNN, Fox News, or any of these other people talk about it. But make no mistake about it, the United States, the Republican and Democrat, even within each one of those paradigms is fractured. You got half the Republicans saying that they with Ukraine and the other half is saying they're with Russia. Why is that? Father said in his book, somebody go give me that precept where he said they're going to be fighting themselves. That's in the book. I done read it a few times, and y'all know where that verse is. They're gonna be fighting amongst themselves now. And we shouldn't be talking about you have some goofy so-called African American talk about, oh yeah, I'm gonna go over there and fight for the Ukrainians, huh? What is you talking about? You gonna go fight for who? You better go take how my man said yesterday, you better go sit down and take 2 seats. Sit your monkey behind down and watch for you go over there and get either smoked by somebody who's in your own group that saying is in your regiment. World War II. Well, let me ask this question. World War II. When our people was in Germany, who was they fighting against? They was fighting against the Germans, right? They was fighting against the Germans, but who else was they fighting against? They was fighting against their own army, the U.S. Army. Huh? They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. They'll tell you that. They'll sneak tell you that in movies. Our ancestors was fighting against not only the so-called Americans that didn't want them there, they was also fighting against the Germans. That's cold. So we have literally, and I'm gonna give shout out to my brother, Pastor Kelly. Shout out to him yet again. Pastor Kelly always said that, hey, we've been in a war ever since 70 AD.
Amen.
Okay, fam, I'm gonna close out with you, brothers, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up, and I'll put the link out again in a day or so. We're gonna pick this up with part 2, and we're gonna get into Glad, and where did I get the name Glad from? Most of y'all done heard of Vlad TV, right? And Vlad TV, if you look at the comment section, they call him Glad, right? They don't call him Vlad, they call him Glad. Now, Crunchy Black was in, I believe, 3-6 Mafia, and you can Google it. Crunchy Black calls him Glad and not Vlad, right? So I'm just using that as a euphemism of my own, a little bit of play on words. So Glad, we're gonna get into Glad Pewton a little bit, and I'm gonna say this right now, brothers. The brother Yash got some explosive information, and we got some information that it's not gonna blow your brains out, but you'll be able to make the connection between what we talk when we talk about America's morality, which, matter of fact, before I close out, I need to get back to the presentation because there's some other slides that I didn't cover and other questions that I didn't answer. And so I am going to ask these questions before we close out. And I'm going to put them up on the screen in that form before we even do that right there, right? So before we close out, fam, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to circle the wagons, and I do want to finish out what we're talking about before we get into part 2. So I'm going back to the presentation, and I'm gonna roll through. We got to there, we did that. So we got two questions. So we're gonna ask this question again. Based on what you've seen in today's conversation, do you believe America is a moral nation? Based on what you've seen and based on what you already know. So it's really a rhetorical question. Is America a moral nation? My answer to that is America is the most immoral nation ever to be. Okay. Now, the next question becomes, so if America, and we're going to leave you with this one, if America is not a moral nation, but totally immoral based on the definition that we read earlier, why does it act as the moral authority over the earth? Who gave them that position and why? Why does America have the position that it is the moral, correct, right? And I'm seeing the answers in the chat, and you guys are on point. Straight, just like that, on point. No punches pulled, straight, no chasing. So I'm going to leave you guys with this because this is where we're going to actually pick up. So, brothers, I'm going to leave you brothers with the last word. Brother Yash, I'm going to hit you off first, then we're going to rock Brother E, then we're going to close out.
Okay, I just put it up there. You said, is America a moral nation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go Brother L today.
Okay.
Amoral. Lacking a moral sense. Unconcerned with rightness or wrongness of something. And amoral, because you said, are they a moral nation? Attitude to sex. So yes, America is amoral.
Wow. Wow. He just spun y'all whole head up like that wicked evil entity on The Exorcist. Brother E, what say you, brother?
I think I'm gonna get ahead of everybody on that. Why does America act as the moral authority of the world? It's because they have over $700 billion in their defense budget. So it's big bank take little bank in that regard. So they always right because they got.
That would be a reason. So it's the white not say so or big bank little bank. I love that. That's and all of y'all haven't been saved all y'all life. Don't act like you've been saved. That we all know what that mean on the streets. Straight up. I love that. So fam, check this out. I appreciate you all joining in, and hopefully you will return back for the continuation of this particular conversation. Shout out to all the brothers on the panel, the brothers that was here, Hal, Brother Yash, Brother E, Brother Banya, Brother Kadar Scales, and last but not least, who am I leaving out? There's 6 of y'all, right? I'm leaving out myself. But anyway, folks, thanks for chiming in and chopping it up with us. And this has been another Salt of the Earth Productions.
It's like